and welcome to the Carla Knits podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, crocheting, and always all of the yarny goodness that I love. Today is Friday, June 3rd, and you are joining me for episode 51. A welcome back to all returning viewers, and if you're new for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up and think about subscribing to this channel. You can find me as cbcraftygirl on Instagram and Ravelry and my Etsy shop where I sell project bags for knitters and crocheters. And we do have a group on Ravelry for this podcast, and it's a pretty active group. We currently have a year-long make-along going on, and we'd love to have you join us if you haven't already. And it is using yarn that was in your stash prior to the beginning of this year. And it's knitting or crocheting anything you would like. So it's called Love Your Stash Make Along 2022, and it goes from January 1st till the very end of this year. And again, using yarn that was in your stash previous to 2022. So lots of activity in the group. There is so much chatter going on in the group. I thought I'd just share a little bit about what's going on in the group. So in the chatter thread recently, there were a couple of people, Leslie and Amy, who did the Memorial Day hat challenge. And I know Andrea Mowry, I believe she did that for her hat as well. So they just kind of did an impromptu, informal one just amongst themselves, making a hat or maybe two hats over the course of those 4 days. So there was some chatter going on between those two. Let's see, Deb's Knits on Ravelry, she posted an in-progress photo of a gorgeous sweater. I absolutely loved this sweater, so I've favorited it in Ravelry, and it's called the No Need to Panic Sweater by Casapinka. So lots of fun things to see what people are knitting, what people are talking about. So you can get that from the chatter thread, or you can go to the finished object thread and see the wonderful things that people have already finished. And in the finished object thread, gorgeous socks, hats, and sweaters. And the Knitting Texan on Ravelry, she posted a bunch of pictures of shorty socks that she has made. So it seems like she is well set for summer if those are all for her, but just it's many shorty sock pictures that I thought were just really cute. So it's a great thread to get inspiration about, about what other people are making and maybe give you ideas about what you'd like to knit. So for the make along, I draw prizes quarterly. And so I will be drawing in the first podcast in July for the April through June quarter. So, so that will be coming up next month. We do have a winner to announce today from the last episode. Last episode was 50, and there was a giveaway. And I'm going to pause because I forgot to bring the prize in here. So hang on a minute. So the prize that I'm giving away from episode 50 is a sock bag from my Etsy shop. So it's this cute orange floral. It's a drawstring bag. And on the inside, it has this cute orange, I don't know if you can see that, orange with some cream colored polka dots and some gold stars. So a perfect bag for sock knitting. And I did a random YouTube comment picker. And the winner from episode 50 with her comment was Sandra Bendig. So Sandra, if you could reach out to me either through Ravelry message or direct message me on Instagram with your mailing address, I will get that sock sack out to you. So congratulations to you. And you have a couple weeks to do that until I record my next episode. And if I don't hear from you, then I will open it up to a new winner. So please get in contact with me, and congratulations. And thank you to all of you who commented on the last episode. I really appreciated all of the congratulation wishes for 50 episodes, as well as get well wishes with sinus infection, and just lots of nice comments. I loved hearing what some of you are working on this summer. So it's just really fun. I enjoy talking with other knitters so very much. I hope you can tell that. So please feel free to comment on this episode, you know, with anything. I love hearing those comments, or love reading those comments, and I'm pretty good about getting back to you. So thanks again to all of you who commented on the last episode. All right, let's see. I have a couple of finished objects. Yep, so a couple finished objects, just small finished objects, but I have this set of 3 dishcloths. So these are the diagonal dishcloth by, it's Ananda Judkins. This is a free crochet pattern on Ravelry, so diagonal dishcloth. And this is just using some cotton that was in my stash. I had a cone of this. It's one of those like peaches and cream, I think it was, or lily sugar and cream. And I can't remember the colorway. Starts with a P. Panoramic, maybe that's it, I'm not sure. But anyway, I crocheted these dishcloths. I really like the texture on these. I think that's really fun. I saw this on another podcast a while ago. I believe it was Do So Knits, and I had favorited it in my Ravelry, you know, my favorites, which I have, you know, well over 1,000 favorites, which is kind of crazy. I need to probably organize my favorites at some point to make it a little easier. But I remembered that there was a crochet dishcloth that I really liked. And so I have a friend who is having a birthday in a couple weeks, and I thought this would just be a really fun, you know, quick, easy, homemade gift for her. So these, you know, I crocheted all of these just within like 2 or 3 days. So really, really quick and easy. So really fun to crochet again, to throw that in with the knitting. Yeah, so 3 of those. So I guess I meant to, before I started with finished objects, sorry, I feel a little out of practice today. I don't know why. It's only been a couple of weeks. I am recording at a different time. I usually record in the morning, but I'm recording after lunch today. But I wanted to talk a little bit about my May stats, my May yarn in and yarn out. And yeah, I don't know that I've kept the best track of things. And I also haven't finished very much either. So I only finished 4 dishcloths in the month of May. So one was the Secret Garden dishcloth that I shared on last episode, the pink dishcloth. And then the 3 dishcloths, crochet dishcloths that I showed right now. And for the Secret Garden dishcloth, I put like 0.5 out of stash because I've used that yarn before for another project. But my 3 crochet dishcloths, I wasn't exactly sure how to count that as out of stash because it was from a cone. And there's still some yarn on the cone, probably enough for another 2 or 3 dishcloths. So I really wasn't sure exactly how to categorize that. But the dishcloths were made using stash yarn. So very happy about that. So I guess I'll say maybe 2.5-ish out of stash. I don't really know. That's just kind of guesstimating some yarn that kind of went out. And then I gifted 2 skeins of yarn. So I guess that's where I was counting that. So 2 skeins gifted. I gave 0.5 for the Secret Garden dishcloth. So 2.5-ish out of stash, but plus more for these guys. And then skeins in, I had 4 skeins in. I showed a couple of those on the last episode. So I didn't take too much in. So 4 in, 2.5-ish out. So still more in than out, but I didn't know how to count this. So But I guess it's just because I'm working on some bigger projects or more involved projects that haven't gotten done, that I don't have a lot of yarn out yet. So hopefully that will change for this month, June, if I can finish some of my bigger projects, maybe. Yeah. So how are you guys doing? Are you using your stash this year? Are you only using stash? Are you trying to use stash but still buying? I mean, that's my goal this year. I am trying to use yarn from stash, but still buying somewhat. And I think I said last time, I'm definitely doing better than I was last year. So I count that as a win. I count that as a win. So let me know how you are doing. If you're using stash only, combination of both, or just buying all new stuff. And there's no wrong answer. Whatever works for you, whatever you love doing is just great. So the dishcloths were my only finished object for today. So I will get into my works in progress. And I have 6 active works that I have been working on over the last 2 weeks. So the first thing that I will show is Amelia the duck, and I'll insert a picture here. This is by Louise Crowther, and I am knitting this duck in all of its pieces. So I have finished the final 2 pieces of the duck's body. So these are, probably can tell, the duck's legs. And so all of the pieces now of the duck are completed. So there was a head, the bill, the body, I'm just thinking of all the parts, the tail, 2 arms, and then 2 legs. So all of them have been knit. They are knit flat and will be seamed. A little smudge on that one. And will be seamed and stuffed. So my goal with Miss Amelia the duck is to get her stuffed, to get the body of the duck completed in the month of June. So completely stuffed and seamed together. And then I can get on to the really fun part, knitting her some clothes. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I said this last time, I must finish the duck first before knitting those clothes. Otherwise, I will just have a bunch of little duck body parts floating around forever and just a bunch of clothes. So I definitely want to get that duck done. The yarn is so nice. It is Scheepjes cotton. Yeah, 2 different kinds. Catona, I think that might be right. So the cotton is so nice to work with. I've really enjoyed that. So now it's just a matter of getting Amelia the duck put together. So that is my goal for June, is to finish Miss Amelia's duck body. So that is my first whip. The second whip I will share is my City Limits sweater. So this is a sweater pattern by Tanis Fiber Arts. Let's see. And this is where I was last time. If you can see the stitch marker there, hopefully you can see the stitch marker. So just working down, I have, divided this for the sleeves, and I'm just working in the round. So this is for fingering weight held double, and you can tell I'm doing some kind of pink corally kind of fade here. So holding 2 strands of fingering weight together and marling them down the body, and then I will pick up for the sleeves. Now the sweater is designed to I guess to be worn on the wrong side with the purl side facing, but I haven't decided yet. I think I really like the stockinette side, so I may just finish it that way. And I know there's ways that you can finish it really carefully, so you could wear it either way. So if I'm able to do that, I will, but I think I really do like the stockinette side better, so we'll see. So I do have a ways to go on this, but this is kind of being set on the back burner for a while as I finish some other things, but I really like it. The yarns I used, I started at the top with lumberjack yarn from my friend Danny. So hi Danny. and it was a pink gradient colorway. And then it went into, I've written this down, the second yarn dyer was Avaini, A-V-A-I-N-I. It was a coral colorway. And then the third color was Porter Wool Company in Paper Valentine. And most recently it is Adeline Rose in the Pop Rocks colorway, which just dropped. So the Pop Rocks colorway. So I'm currently holding Pop Rocks with Paper Valentine. And then after I do that for a while, then I will hold 2 of Pop Rocks together. So that is my sweater so far. And you can see it's definitely a Carla sweater. I love those pinks and coral colors. So very, very fun, very enjoyable to work on that project. My next project is getting so close to being done. I'm really excited about this. If you remember when I started, this is my Dureco sweater. This is a pattern by Allison Green. And I'm using Barocco Remix Light in the Pool colorway. And where's that stitch marker? Okay. Can you see the stitch marker? Right there somewhere. I will just hold it up. So you can see I have done several inches. Golly, that's probably 8 inches since last time, 7 or 8 inches. So after splitting for the sleeves, you work down the body to 14.5 inches before you do the hem on the sweater. I am right at 14 as of last night. I put some time into this last night, so I'm really excited. So my goal absolutely is to have this done this month, and I would love to have this done by the next podcast. If you remember, I was doing this sweater as an informal knit along with 2 people in my knitting group. That's my knitting group here in town. And both my friend Lois and Joanne have finished their sweaters. They both wore them to our knitting group this past Tuesday and were absolutely beautiful. So that really has inspired me to really continue and get this done, and I'm so close. So after my 1/2 inch on the body, I will just have to do that hem and then pick up for the sleeves, but there are not very many rounds on the sleeves. So I think the end is definitely in sight. I am really excited about this sweater. So that the big push is going to be on that sweater. So that's why that City Limits sweater, may just be on the back burner for a little while, because obviously I'm not going to be wearing that one this time of year, but I might be able to wear my Dureco sweater, especially when I go to church on Sundays. I've said before that our church is very air conditioned. We went there this past Sunday and it was cold. So they definitely have the air conditioning going strong. So that's really nice that I might be able to wear that sweater to church. So really looking forward to having that done. So I was working really hard on those 3 projects. The flutter wrap that I showed last week, that's the peach, or last episode, that's the peach shawl where I'm holding the slub yarn and mohair. I have not worked on that anymore, but hopefully that may get some love this month. But what really took over for me once May 28th hit, so some of you are going to know, Summer Sock Camp, which is hosted by the Crazy Sock Lady, started. So that was this past Saturday. So I was looking forward to that because I did not have any socks on my needles for about 3 weeks, and I was definitely ready for socks. So I had posted a picture on Instagram of the 3 yarns that I had caked up that I was going to use for my socks. So I will go through those now, what I cast on. Let's see which one is first. Okay, so I guess I'm not showing my bags. I'm sorry. I'll show my sock bags today. because those are still all in their bags. So this is a bag I made a couple summers ago. I just like that cute little fabric, and it's got this little sweet pin on there that says "Be kind." I think that was designed by the Yarn Hoarder a few years back. So in this little sack is my first sock that I cast on. This is a DK weight sock. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see that there is a pattern to the sock. So I wanted to do, oops, and I'm losing stitches. So let me get those stitches back on. Very good. Very good. So I wanted a DK sock that had a pattern to it. I've only done plain, plain vanilla DK weight socks, but I really wanted something that had a little something on it. So I found a pattern, and hopefully you can see that has a little cable. So I'm doing the right side, and then the left side will have it on the opposite side. So I'm doing the right sock first. So hopefully you can see that cable. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. Appropriately named Sailor's Rope DK socks. Because if you know, some of you know that my husband and I like to sail, so I thought that was kind of fun. But I just liked it that it was a simple cable on there. That pattern again is free on Ravelry by Felicity Ward, and it has been very easy. The pattern had you only do like one repeat of the pattern and then move into the heel, but I have done I think 3 rounds, so it's not going to be a super long sock, but I wanted it to be a little longer than just that one repeat. So I believe I am ready. I think I'm going to put the heel in now. This yarn is by Candy Shop Yarns in the Cake Pop colorway, that fun speckly color. This actually reminds me of those big white jawbreakers that sometimes you see in candy stores, those really big ones with all the speckles. I mean, I can see Cake Pop, but I also see that big jawbreaker too. And it came with a coordinating green mini, so I'm going to do the mini just for the toes of both socks, but I think that green is so pretty. Yeah, and this yarn has been really nice to work with, nice and soft. So this was my first cast on, which I cast on Saturday. I think Saturday morning right away when I got up, I cast on this sock. And then Saturday afternoon, I cast on a second sock. And oops, wrong bag. And this is in this cute drawstring bag. This is by Lila Lovely. I don't know if she is on Etsy anymore selling bags. And I may have talked about this last summer. This is all items that you would have found in a dime store a long time ago. So there's a little paint kit on there for 10 cents. There's soap for 5 cents, little paper clips, pencils, makeup, magazines, sewing notions, just things that you would find in a dime store. And my grandpa on my mom's side, so my grandpa Doll, owned a dime store in Michigan, where my parents live. So this fabric just caught my eye, and it reminds me of my grandpa. I was too little when the store went out of business, so I don't remember the store, although I was in the store. But the store is currently a fabric store in the town where my mom lives, and so that's the fabric store that I go to, and she likes to reminisce about it, being her dad's store. So this is kind of my dime store drawstring bag, and in it I have my second sock that I cast on, and I don't know how the camera will pick this up, but it is bright. This yarn is so bright, but it just screamed summer to me. This is just such a fun neon summery color. So I am making a shorty sock, and the pattern is Rhinebeck Roomies by the Crazy Sock Lady, which is just this really fun textured pattern. I have used this pattern before, and it just made a really fun little squishy textured sock. So I have done about 3 inches for for the cuff and leg. Then I put in the heel flap and gusset, and now I'm just working down the foot part. And I haven't decided if I am going to put in a contrasting toe or if I'm just going to leave it as is. But this yarn is by, let's see, Weird Sisters Wool Emporium in the Neon Dream colorway. And it's just so fun and bright. Saturday here was a nice, bright, sunny day, so this was really fun. So I cast this on Saturday afternoon. And we were driving in the car a little bit, so I had some car knitting time working with this sock yarn. So I did a little bit of sock knitting, and then let's see, I cast on my last sock yesterday. So I hope to at least get these 3 socks done, if not more, for summer sock camp. I am really losing stitches today. Yep, the stitches are completely out of this one. Well, I have some work to do when I'll be editing. That's terrible, my goodness. But this, yep, all those back stitches are free. All right, this is just going to be a plain vanilla sock. And this yarn is by Night Owl Fibers in the Cornwall Cove. So this was a recent acquisition that I showed last time. So this was a colorway that Rachel dyed for Pole Dark, or kind of, you know, representing the area that Pole Dark takes place in. So I love that show, and I just loved this colorway. Really subtle and soothing, the colors of the water and sand, maybe shells, sky. It's just beautiful. So I plan to do a longer sock for this one. So I will probably make it to about 6 or 7 inches before inserting the heel. And I may put a contrasting heel in, although I haven't chosen that yet, but I will be doing that. So those are my sock whips. So I'm really happy to be back to my sock knitting. As a lot of you know, I love to knit socks, and so I took that little break in there, but was super, super happy, super excited to cast on socks for summer sock camp. So if you don't know what that is, you can check out the Crazy Sock Lady. There's lots of information that she has, and it's just a very informal knit along. It's just knitting socks. So lots of people are knitting socks this summer, and you can enter into different places depending on the method you use: circular needles, double pointed needles, how you knit those, enter them into different various places for prizes. So it's just a really fun knit along, and thinking that other people are knitting for summer sock camp too. So really, really enjoying that. I did forget to bring one thing in here, so I'm going to pause a moment. All right, so something I wanted to share. This was yarn that was kindly donated to me, or given to me, by my friend Danny in Michigan, who is Lumberjack Yarn. So if you haven't checked out her yarn, just make sure you do. She's got some lovely yarn. And so she sent me 3 skeins. So does she know, Carla? The beautiful pink yarns. So this is on a bulky weight. And then this gorgeous green yarn is a fingering weight. It's merino, silk, and cashmere. So it is scrumptiously soft. So she said I could keep or give away. So I am going to keep the pink because, well, I love them all, but I'm definitely going to keep the pink because those are definitely Carla colors. And I do love the green too, but I am going to put this for the prize, for the quarterly prize, one part of the quarterly prize that will be drawn in July. So that gorgeous skein may be coming to one of you guys if you are participating in the Love Your Stash make along. So thank you again, Danny, for your generosity. And Danny has donated several times to the podcast. So I really, really appreciate you doing that, Danny. That's so kind. Thank you. I guess just a little bit of chatter. As far as knitting, I'm going to keep going. I want to finish that Dureco sweater. I want to finish the duck, and I'm going to keep going on the socks. So some of those other projects, maybe put just put aside for a little while, although I really do enjoy, you know, working on all of them, but I really want to put, there are some that I want to really get finished. So I'll be doing that. And anytime in the car is great time for working, on socks. So definitely enjoying that. Just coming up, I am wondering if anyone is interested in me hosting kind of a Christmas in July make along. We did it last year. I think I probably would do it. I don't know if I did July and August, but I might do like July 1st through mid-August, or I could just do July if people are interested. So please let me know down below if you're interested in hosting. And so, you know, this would be separate from the Love Your Stash make along, but if you are using Stash, you could dip in both. You could post finished objects in both. And yeah, so just let me know if that's something you're interested in. I do have a couple projects that I want to make, not necessarily for gifts, but some maybe Christmas socks. I could see myself making some Christmas socks in July, and then there's a Christmas or a cowl that I would like to make too. So I could see working on that. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. I will be hosting again this year the 12 skeins of Christmas, the mini skein swap that I did last year. So there were a few people who participated and we really enjoyed it. And so hopefully you'd like to do that again, and maybe some more of you will join. And I will be talking about that more as the summer goes on. So just some things to be looking for. But do let me know if anyone is interested in a Christmas in July knit along. So it would be, you know, knitting something Christmassy for yourself or Christmas gifts. So just let me know about that. All right. Just a little bit of chatter. The reason I didn't record this morning is that I was helping my friend Joanne. Hi, Joanne. She helped teach knitting last summer to some kids or young teenagers through I believe 4-H, and so she asked if I would help her this year. So this was our first session this morning. We had 5 girls, and it was so much fun. So 4 of the 5 had already knit, so some of it was just a refresher. And then 4 of them are working on a dishcloth. One brought her own yarn, and she's going to make a pillow cover. So it was really fun, you know, sharing our love of knitting with these kids and just hearing them talk. And yeah, it was really fun. So I have a few more times. I think we're doing a total of 5 or 6 times. So I'll be doing that again next week. But really fun to work with the young kids and share my love of knitting with them. So I did that this morning. Recently we had a wedding to go to that was a lot of fun. Actually, that was the day of summer sock camp starting, so there was a lot of car knitting that I was able to do, but a really fun wedding. We've gotten the boat out a couple of times. I did post a picture yesterday on Instagram of myself holding my knitting on the boat, and yesterday was a fine day for knitting because there was no wind, which on a sailboat you really want wind. So we didn't actually sail, we motored around the lake. So you do need some wind for a sailboat. If there's too little, you don't move. If there's too much, it makes it difficult to handle the boat. So it's got to be kind of a happy medium. So hopefully we'll have some decent wind coming up. But it's been nice to get you know, back to the boat and back to the beautiful lake that we have about 25 minutes from us. It's really fun. Thank you for all the get well wishes with my sinus infection. Still trying to get better. The sinuses are mostly cleared, but it kind of settled into my chest. So still trying to kick whatever this is. And I know a lot of people have been suffering with allergies, and many people I know have had sinus infections. So I hope that you are not one of them. I hope you're managing to stay healthy or managing your allergies okay. But I'm definitely on the mend. Let's see. I think that is all of the things I wanted to mention. So I was so happy to be back with you guys today, sharing all of my projects. I hope you are doing well. If you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this video, I sure would appreciate it. It just gets this video out to other people who are maybe interested in knitting or anything having to do with yarn. So I would greatly appreciate that. Comment down below if you'd be interested in the Christmas knit along, or just comment down below. Just say hello. Tell me what you're working on. Comment about anything. I just enjoy interacting with you guys so much. Consider joining our make along on Ravelry. That would be great. So thank you to all of you for staying with me through this episode. I hope you all have a good couple of weeks and enjoy some good knitting or crocheting time, and stay healthy. And I will see you again in the next episode. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.